We are live! Hello, everyone! Welcome to this very fun, special Sunday edition of The Show Must Go Online Junior. We've got our SHOtreons here. This is going to be a very short day of, we're really just testing because we have this cool new thing that I'm going to look at this as we're going live. What? This is crazy. So, oh yeah, look, there we are. This is perfect. So we are doing this crazy new thing. Technology, can you believe it? Where we are both live on YouTube. Thanks, John. We've got a test. Yes, love to see it. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook, both B-Way Show. And this is just a way for everyone to be able to see that, yes, you can still see all the guests and that it works, because tomorrow we have a very exciting guest, and that would be two-time Tony loser, Alex Brightman.
Yay!
Isn't that just great how he loves to call himself the two-time Tony loser?
That's a fantastic way to put it. Like, I feel like every other performer would be like, two-time Tony nominee, and Alex is like, no, not even.
Excellent.
It's so good. It's so good. Ooh, and so now we have this cool new thing. Oh, look, that's me and John when we covered the Emoji Land opening night. So this is cool. On Facebook, it'll actually show like the F for Facebook, and on YouTube, it'll show the YouTube symbol. So anyone can still comment along from either. I will say, though, just as like a general heads up, if you're like, if I had to choose, it's not a tie, please go to YouTube.
Okay.
Duly noted.
Mm-hmm.
This was just, and I want to hear feedback from everyone, but this was an idea I had because I saw some other people going live on both. And, you know, at the end of the day, I just want to reach as many people. And on Facebook, it kind of gives that like live notification and it's a lot easier. We've got another special guest joining us. And 3, 2, Lisa!
I accidentally went into the YouTube video instead. I was like, oh, wait, no, wrong one.
This is perfect. Okay, so, oh, look, so this is great. I can also see how many people are watching right now. We've got test 1, 2, 3. What would you do with 96G? Oh, me? So let's go around, everyone, and hear, let's just like say your name and maybe like how we met, because I always think that's fun with the SHOtreon. So let's go in order, because the way that we see it here, I'm gonna, oh, let's see, can I do this? What?
Whoa.
This is crazy. Technology. Sorry, Ashley, love you. So nearly birthday girl, why don't you kick us off, and then we will go through, and then you can skip over me. Hey, I'm SHO. We'll go to Derek and then over to Julie and Lisa. Kick it off.
Perfect. All right, so I'm Ashley, and SHO and I met, oh dear God, how did we meet? I just
Probably at a show.
Probably at a show, or I think we met in person for the first time, seeing Alice by Heart in New York. I think that's when we met in person for the first time, but it just kind of feels like I've known you for forever at this point. And you took some amazing pictures of me and my husband when we saw Moulin Rouge.
Yes.
And dressed up as French aristocrats for the night. That was cool.
That was so much
So
fun.
that's my origin story.
Yay! Thank you. Love you.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, take it away.
Hey, I'm Derek. I'm in Chicago, and I met shows at Broadway Con. Was it
Yes.
2, 3? You had just moved to New York, and like you had like days before. You had, like, I remember it. It's like you just moved and you're at Broadway Con.
That was crazy. Yeah, 2019. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Good times. Good
Yeah.
times.
I
I'm seeing
remember
Ashley.
the real first time we met.
Oh yeah. Take it back.
We
This is
were.
very
I was
casual.
seeing.
Rewind.
I was.
Rewind.
Sorry, it seemed to be.
FLS. I was seeing FLS at Ars Nova in December when it started snowing, and you were at Marie's Crisis Cafe, and we were like texting through the window, waving through a window, if you will,
We were
in the
through a window.
basement. Yes, we really did wave through the window.
Wait, that's so funny. That's when my friend Julia and I saw FLS. Julia's also a SHOtreon, introduced me to Hamilton. Love, love, love. And we went and we were at Marie's Crisis. That is so funny. Oh my goodness. This is why I like to go through our origin story together, because it's been so long, but brings back so many good memories.
Sorry,
Cool,
your
Julie.
Me too.
Now we'll fast forward.
Okay, yes. So so the official meeting was, when was that? So that was July of 2019. Time is weird. But when I came to New York to see Hadestown.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, Hadestown. I usually keep a mask here, but I think I actually now have it in my bag so I can like use it when I'm out. But I have a Hadestown mask. I'm
lost
showing
mine.
what a mask looks
Terrible. I don't know where mine went.
like.
Very
Hadestown. Wasn't that just the best?
Yes, it was a very excellent weekend. So
Yay.
great birthday.
And then, yes, birthdays. Oh, we have some birthdays coming up here. Actually, for everyone who's watching, SHOtreons historically have lots of April birthdays. 3 of them in this call right here. Raise your hand if you have any. And John, who was commenting before. I mean, this is bonkers. But let's go to one of our previous SHOtreon birthday girls, Lisa.
I am Lisa. And I forced Shoshana to be my friend by going online and ordering Broadway roulette tickets. I'd never done it before, and I'd heard good things, and I was like, all right, let's do this. And we got tickets to see the prom.
Yes.
And so we went and saw the prom. And that was my very first Broadway show and on Broadway show. And then it was also, I'd never heard of prior to, and I'd never, obviously, since I'd not heard of it, done it, stage dooring. And Shoshana was like, are you going to want a stage door after? And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. And she was like, what? And she was like, we're doing this. And okay, so we're doing this.
Doing this.
And we did. And it was my very first ever stage door experience at my very first ever Broadway show. And it was absolutely amazing. And since that was in February of 2018.
Wow.
Right? Am I right about that show?
No, 2019. 2018, I was still in Texas.
You right. 2019.
Thanks.
And again, what is time?
What is time? Jeremy Bear Me, baby.
Excuse me. Yeah. And after that, I mean,
the rest is history.
The rest is history. Then I just started basically I live with you when I come to New York.
True. That's true.
We see lots of stuff. We do lots of things. We eat a lot of food together.
So much food. It is so good. So, okay, Lisa, we're going to touch back in a moment, but I know that our dear Derek only has a few minutes, and we need to talk about this fabulous outfit, this fabulous look. We're catching you on a Sunday. Let's talk about it. Yeah. The Reverend is here.
Yes, I am here. So one of my former students and now good friend, Teresa Soto, is getting installed as the minister of the First Unitarian in Oakland. And they invited me to offer greetings as part of the service. And that's happening in what time is it? 20 minutes or so. And in fact, I need to leave shortly to get ready. But I just wanted to be here, and support show, but I also need to go and support my friend as well, and see them be surrounded by love as they begin this journey, or actually they've started already, but as they cement this journey and with this new congregation.
Yay! Oh, we are so happy. We are so happy you're here. This is wonderful. And that is so cool that you're going to have that experience. And when we saw you pop up on that screen, Ashley and I were like, Whoa, we are loving this.
Yes.
It is all working. So perfect. Well, whenever you have to bounce, you can totally, but I wanted to make sure we got to that because I'm sure people watching are like, whoa, Derek, we're in quarantine. Why are you looking so great? And I'm in my T Rico sweatshirt that I live in now.
Yes. I do need to sneak out now, but it was so good to see everyone.
So
Bye,
good to see
Derek.
you.
Bye,
Yes.
Derek.
Bye.
So, okay, this is a great transition to talk about trivia because this is part of our Show Squad trivia team, and it is so much fun. I mean, during quarantine, to have a group of people that you consistently see, and even if, we all don't make every single week, of course, but like just having this like group and then a group chat for the trivia, even just like, wait, I feel like Ashley would know that, but Ashley is doing this very important thing because you're a lawyer lady and you're doing all that. But like maybe you would know this answer, text, and then we get it. So what has trivia with the Show Squad meant to y'all?
Everybody's pausing. Who wants to go?
Yeah,
This is
I mean,
a group of people who
I thought
talk
you
so
were
much.
going to start. I just sort of assumed that was we were going to stick with that same
So did
order.
I, but my loud mouth starts everything. So like, let's be honest
I'll start.
about this, guys.
I'll start.
All right.
I
finish.
came into trivia a little bit late, and you guys had already been playing for quite a while before I jumped on and started playing with you. And for me, although I did have a brief period where I was just working all the time and couldn't play, honestly, there's so little. Oh, yay!
Yay!
Look at Derek's photo. He looks
That's
so
excellent.
like.
I'm like, do I need to
I feel like
update
I
that?
really need to step up my game on everything now.
I know. So for me, I don't know. I mean, I guess being stuck at home all the time and not really getting a chance to like go out and see my friends and hang out with people the way that I used to. I mean, I literally, Shoshana can say, I was literally in New York with her every other weekend for the longest time. Like every 2 to 3 weekends, I would be in New York. And so it's been really hard, through the pandemic and being quarantined, not being able to like get together and see your friends and like do stuff together. So trivia has been really, there's a word I'm looking for and I can't find it, but like it has been such a little oasis because it's an opportunity for me to like reconnect with my friends. And like it feels like I'm doing something social, even though it's not in person. It feels like I've done something, which is amazing. Social.
Well done.
Missed opportunity, Lisa. Missed opportunity.
Come on now. We have a whole list. There's a whole list of
It's
like
true.
social media, Show Squad, Shownanigans. Help me out. What
It's
are
never gonna tap the. It's never gonna tap the schwitzing nonsense
Shoshana
that we did that one
Schwitzing?
night.
Oh my God, that was so funny. Naomi, one of our SHOtreons, was like brilliantly collecting all of these show words. And like we were all contributing to them, but we couldn't find like a hook, like one to, and it's like a 5-word Shoshana Schwitzing Show Squad.
I think it was like 9
Shabbat.
words, actually.
Yeah, it was a
Shabbat.
lot of words.
I'm gonna
our
look for this as
poor-
you go.
Poor trivia host. She's such a good sport and totally killed it every time we made her say it fully out loud that night.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
All right, Julie, your turn.
My turn?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, the times that I can, because work is terrible. And that's just life. That to me, it's like a constant, it's something that I can count on. And that's how I think about it, because we can't, everything isn't normal. So to have something is going to be there, and the people that are going to be there, even though it's virtual. That's important to me. So, yeah, that's how I think about it. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how I've kept it.
Yeah, I love that. Exactly. No, truly though, because I think in our like normal lives pre-pandemic, we were running around so much, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get so worked up on everything that we're doing, and everything's just so crazy. And then you go to a pandemic and all of a sudden you're not seeing people, you're not hugging people, you're not like, there are all these aspects that are taken away, that to have this like one thing that I know every Wednesday we have trivia, act trivia. I think that every time.
I have never thought of that, but that word, like that Activia, every time somebody says activity or something, I always sing that song in my head. The fact that you just applied that to trivia gives me life.
This is what our group is like.
We're just going to add, our group is full of puns and nonsense, and then a little bit more puns thrown in. Like, if you just like to come, just come for the wordplay and stay for the joy.
Thank you. I love that. Insert to the show squad, like little SHOtreon thing. So yeah, so I should make a little plug here because this feels like an appropriate time. For anyone's like, wait, how can I join? I get that all the time. So the show squad trivia is from the SHOtreons. So the SHOtreons are the BWA Show Patreon squad. Y'all are awesome. You support me financially, emotionally, everything. You're amazing. I'm very lucky that a lot of friends have chosen to spend your hard-earned money to support my cause, my dream of becoming a theater reporter, which is now true and a reality. And a lot of people also wonder, like, where is this money going? And Derek's saying, we are a punny group. Yes, Derek sometimes comes out with these zingers, and they are fabulous. Just going to throw that out there. Just going to show that out there. So in case, this is actually like a really interesting thing, because I've been very introspective, and with interviewing Alex again tomorrow, he was one of the first people, like early April last year, that I interviewed. And I was listening to the podcast episode, because for anyone who doesn't know, the Show Must Go Online turns into BWA Show, the podcast. So you can listen both ways. And just hearing some of the differences, like I didn't have any of like this. There was no light, there was no new microphone, there was no like actual camera here. It was all through my laptop, which is a fabulous laptop that my friends have somehow also supported me and gifted me a laptop for my dream. Like, I'm gonna get emotional, so I'm just gonna hold back for a second and say
Emotional.
Hey, there we go. Back in the game. I'm gonna write that one down.
Ashley has died.
Ashley has died. I hope well, just in time for Alex Brightman to resurrect and whatever the Yes.
Oh, you have ears too?
Ashley, I do.
Oh, so I think now, I'll pause whatever I was saying. I think we need to have a little Ashley a showcase, if you will. Will you show tell for us?
A showcase?
Oh, you have not seen my ears. Hold on.
Oh.
I only have one pair of ears, and they are my Minnie Mouse sequin, like they're black sequin with a red bow. But I got them in Paris, so they're like especially special to me.
Yes. Yeah. So while Julie is looking for her fantastic ears, the backstory is I went to
I can't see. I can't see. Get down.
Yes.
I need those.
Yes, drop it in the group. We need to hear.
Yes. So my 5-year-old cousin or 6-year-old cousin is turning into a Hamel kid. And so she called me, she and her mother, who's my cousin, called me and all of a sudden we had this huge discussion, and she is apparently got a crush on David Diggs, which is fine and very cute.
That's fair.
And totally
That's such
understandable.
an odd thing to happen to someone.
So weird.
Yes, correct. And then all of a sudden, about a month, 6 weeks ago or so, I had a package in my box downstairs in my condo, and this showed up.
Showed up.
It showed up.
It showed up. So now I have ears.
Those,
I couldn't stop
I love-
laughing.
did she make those? Those are
I have-
spectacular.
I have no idea. And they sort of even fit my very large head.
They're so cute.
I know.
They're super cute.
They're so hilarious.
So
the
cool.
girl who makes the ones that Ashley has, because I went I went to her Instagram. She sells out of them like
Really?
Instantly.
so, like
Literally
she's
instantly.
like I
Instantly on Instagram?
you know, these are open, you know, like I'm taking orders, and like as quickly as she opens up orders, they're gone, and then she shuts it down because people are
They're gone.
ordering her ears so
They're-
much.
We need
So
to get,
it's
just
a
like we
captain
always
size
talk about. Yes. Next time
Or-
you see that they're on sale, we need to make this happen because we
we need to have a discussion. Yes.
yeah.
So,
'Cause I
Ashley,
can-
do your ears have, like, are they heavy? Like, are they made out of, like, felt?
So
You know.
these ears, which there are actually 6 of them, because I went to Disney in December, and I ordered one for each different day of the week because clearly I have problems. And Peggy, just you wait. Just you wait. Just you wait. So they're not super heavy. It's almost like a regular headband, but she put sequins on it, sewed the fabric, and then the Beetlejuice with the bug on it here. But as we go through, as I said, there's 6 different ones. So there is some Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, yes.
Ashley,
Um,
you're
which I designed
kind
with
of
her.
coming
I designed these
through
ones.
pixelated.
Yeah, I was noticing that too. I wasn't sure if it was my connection.
I don't think it's yours because all 3 of us are clear, but Ashley is
Yeah.
coming through pixelated.
Ashley, what up?
It might be my internet.
No.
No.
Did I?
Oh, how
find you?
surprising.
Now you're clear.
How surprising it's Ashley and not Lisa. Historically frozen in funny
Don't
position.
Don't curse her. Don't
Oh, I need
Yes.
her.
Oh, the 6 ones are excellent.
They're spectacular. She actually had made these more for herself, but when I was like, I want these, she was like, I was like, I want 6. So I named 6 different shows. And I was like, I want to do something from 6. And she's like, well, I have some Kay Howard ears that I made. And I'm like, done.
Done.
Dunsies.
Nailed it.
Dunsies. So she made the Dear Evan Hansen ones and the Beetlejuice ones were designed together. And the Hadestown ones, she and I also designed together.
I need. Can I get a combo one?
Then
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm sure you could.
Probably. Like she generally doesn't do custom, but because I was ordering so many of them, she was like, we're good. These ones, she had done like a concept design for Wicked. And they're actually like really light, really clear. They're gorgeous. There's glitter inside. They make me so happy. And then, and Peggy, just for you. Hello, Slimbo.
Hi. Hi, Slimbo.
The final jewel,
Oh,
if you
Those are the
will,
ones I want.
Oh,
Mhm,
yeah.
are the Hamilton ears.
Woo. Those are
Oh, I
adorable.
need them.
As is Slimbo.
They're fantastic. They make me so happy.
Yes. Just like getting all those doggy kisses.
Yes.
I love him so much.
Excellent.
Very cool. Very cool. Wow. That's I love those. Those are so nice. It always feels so weird because I have to like look
I
at
think
the
I'm just going
screen.
to keep them on for the rest of our conversation.
Please
I'm
do.
here for that.
Should we?
If I had them.
All right, should I keep it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll keep them on.
This is so cool. So, and we have some great people in the comment section over here. Anyone who has comments, questions, thoughts, write them in. This is so chill and casual. We're only going to go for probably a few more minutes, but I just thought it was fun to have like a show squad, SHOtreon little chat to test this out. And clearly it looks like it's working. Do people like that it's on Facebook and Instagram, or on Facebook and YouTube? Now you have a little more options and whatever.
It's on Facebook? What do you mean?
So this is what this whole... Yeah.
No, I know, but like how, what?
Let me tell you, my friend. So, okay, this is actually a good transition to go back to what I was saying with Alex, and like the original setup of all this was back last year when I was doing this. I didn't have this StreamYard account, which is what I'm using now, and I can make this fun little background. I was using Zoom and connecting it to this like OBS thing. Basically, it was this whole process, and then I needed to also pull up YouTube to see the comments, and it we're in quarantine, everyone's here, but like the internet, not so great. So using like 3 different things was like overwhelming it. And you could only upload it to like one thing. So to YouTube. Now, ever since Kayla, Milady, and Mark, their episode where the Zoom cut out halfway through, and I was like, no. I just watched it in the Heights, so it's very much in my head. Thank you very much. And I was like, I need to change this. I need an upgrade. Gotta get an upgrade. Do you see? This is just how my brain works. It's just like a constant musical reference, one after another. So I started using StreamYard. I heard from a friend that that's what they were using, and I'm obsessed with it because this is all one thing. Like, you can only have up to 10 people, which is slightly unfortunate. But I see the comments here. I can do banners. I can put your comments in there. Love it. So before, it was just going to YouTube from here. But now I linked it up to my B-Way Show Facebook page. And that is, it's like a professional page that I don't use all too much. I used it more when I was a reporter in Texas, just because I felt like that's where I put my trending now segments. It was a nice area to do that. Now, I don't know so much, but I would see other people doing these Facebook Lives. And I thought, you know what? What's the harm in having it go live to 2 things? And it's really, really cool. Thank you, Ann Peggy. Yes, your brain is the exact same way. I feel like a lot of us theater kids have that, where if you're around other people who aren't theater kids, don't necessarily understand how your brain will just jump from reference to reference. But then when you're around a group like this and everyone's just in the know, don't you know? Say it ain't so. I just got done from rap recess. Yo, that would have been more, Did that answer your question, Lisa?
It did.
Oh, excellent. So happy to hear it. So I'm really excited for
while you were explaining that, I of course had to go to your page, where as soon as I went to your page, it automatically pulls up your let's see if I can get this.
Ooh, nice.
Right down here.
Yeah.
It automatically pulled up the video. So
perfect.
And that was just by going to your page. Like, I didn't click on anything. It just, boop,
Wow.
It just opened up on its own.
Perfect. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing this for a little while, but then I wasn't sure how to do it. And I was actually interviewed on Friday by a friend, and she, Beltline to Broadway, go check it out. And she was doing that. And I was like, okay, how are you doing this magic? And then I spent the weekend like making sure I knew how to do that. And it felt like appropriate for Alex to be like the first reoccurring guest to also have this like be a brand new branch out of this. So I'm very excited about it.
That's because he's your friend.
So what time?
Okay, Lisa. Okay.
What time show is Alex coming on tomorrow?
Thank you so much for asking that, Ashley.
Lovely segue.
It's a lovely segue. It is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is when most of the interviews are on the Show Must Go Online. Occasionally, I like to be as available for the guest as possible, so that I can, if they need to do an earlier or later time, totally cool. Love to do that. But 5 o'clock is pretty standard because I feel like that's when people are either getting out of work or like they're able to wrap it up or whatever. I've just noticed that that's a pretty chill time. So 5 o'clock right here on BOA Show YouTube and BOA Show Facebook page and all that jazz.
And it's a really good time. This felt like an appropriate time to put these back on.
I appreciate
it's a really good time, like you said, like people wrapping up out of work, because it kind of forces me to hold myself accountable. And like Lisa and I have been trying to be really good together about holding ourselves accountable and not being terrible workaholics. And so we really, having them at 5 o'clock is like, okay, I'm going to make sure that I'm shut down for the day in time that I can kind of listen to it as I'm starting to shift my day into classes and stuff at night. So it's a really nice segue, like especially in quarantine when you don't have that like commute time that you used to have to kind of reset yourself from work mode back into home mode. This is a really great way to kind of step back and just breathe through the end of your day. And yes, I can do it too. And just breathe. When she started singing that, oh my God, during the book launch, that was spectacular. I think I cried.
I did cry. Lisa and I were texting and saying, I'm legitimately crying right now.
And nothing.
Like, I don't have the same, like, God.
No, nothing will ever. Having seen the screener for the movie, the girl was amazing and super talented, but nothing will ever come close to the feeling that I feel when I hear Mandy sing. There's something, like, it just, my soul just,
I've been.
It is an interest.
So, like, I was just saying.
No, I was just. You go. I will stop. I'm muting myself.
I'll direct.
We're so bad at this game. This is another feature of the show Squad Chats, is all of us talk over each other because we all love each other very, very much. And then we all stop talking at exactly the same time and then start talking again. It's an acquired skill. Please come join. You'll have fun. But I remember when all of you were really excited about like the trailer for In the Heights and seeing the initial screening, and I never got to see it on Broadway, so I don't have the same kind of connection to it the way that I think everybody else in the group has. But I have been fortunate enough that almost every time that I've seen Hamilton on Broadway, Mandy has been my Angelica. And Lisa, like you were saying, there's something very special about her when she sings, and listening to her sing Satisfied had me, the first time I saw it was after the first time I won the lottery, and it was a Sunday matinee, and I think I was a mess for a lot of different reasons, but her singing that as my second favorite song in the show, I think I ugly cried through all of it, because there was just something about her and the way that she sings the song. Like it's more than just singing the words. There's true feeling behind it, and that makes all the difference.
That was my last show in person before the pandemic. I saw Hamilton on Broadway for the first time on Broadway last year on Leap Day, and Mandy singing, I mean, I was sobbing the whole time. And that was like my fifth show. And she literally, breathtaking is the perfect word, because I quite literally was like, I don't know that I've ever heard anybody sing in this role the way that Mandy does. Of course, Renee Elise Goldsberry, like, we're not getting into OBC, but
yeah,
Mandy,
there's no words for what this woman is.
Yeah. I mean, and y'all can all attest to when Mandy came on my series, I was like, just breathe. Because talk about like having one of your musical heroes, icons, who says yes. I mean, that's just like, you know, sometimes it's good to go for a reach and just just reach out and see if she'll say yes. And when she did, and I mean, she's just so generous with her time and thoughtful and so nice. And it just like, you know, I was asked on Friday, like, you know, do you ever get starstruck? And I would say it's less about being starstruck as it is like having this person who has had this you've had this emotional connection to from their work, and just like appreciating them so much that you want to like try to be cool and not fangirl too much. But also like the cool thing about being a theater reporter is that you can fangirl like a little bit, like appropriately. And that's kind of where I live, is like the, you know, be professional, and then like slip in a like, oh, by the way, you singing this is like totally making my life cool. Okay, now we'll get back to the professional. Yeah. I do think, I mean, what do you think? I think people appreciate knowing how much they're appreciated, right? Like there's a difference if you're a news reporter, or even sometimes a sports reporter, but theater is such a like a niche. I mean, it's a huge industry, but it's not as like big sometimes, which is crazy to me because it's like the best thing ever. But like the theater community is so special, and I've been a fan my whole life, so I know that like fan culture, but then also like theater professional community, and there just seems to be this like different energy even around the theater reporters and photographers, where it's like, oh my God, I just interviewed Lynn, or I photographed Bernadette Peters, or, you know, whatever it was, that you're allowed to have in a healthy way. If you're mostly professional, you're allowed to have that like underlying, like, yes, this is super cool that you just did this.
Because it is super cool. You should be excited.
Thank you, Julie.
Well, you know, the band girl in me can come in sometimes.
Yeah.
We could use Julie as a conductor for our conversations. That would make things so much easier some days.
Rob McClure does the conductor cams. We've got Julie doing the show cams. I love it.
We're going to start calling her Julie Larkin more.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes.
Obsessed.
Well played.
I love it. But I think theater itself is different than I think any other profession, inherently just because of what people do, because you really have to tap into so many different spectrums of humanity and so many different spectrums of emotion that I think it's a little bit easier for for actors at the stage door to come out and have those connections with people in the audience and be okay with a little bit of the fangirling, because that's who they were when they were growing up. That's like, you don't become a Broadway star or a Broadway performer or a Broadway professional without having been that kid at the stage door first. Yeah. And so I think there has to be some sort of almost symbiotic relationship between those.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Actually, Alex, as I was re-listening to my interview and I was watching some of the other ones, Alex Brightman talks about that. He's like, I used to be that kid on the other side of the barricades, and now I'm like the person that people get to, you know, take photos with. And he's like, it's a dream. It's like free. How did he phrase it? It was like free positivity, free happiness, you know. And Jessica, if you ever want to talk, being a theater reporter would be my dream job. Look, I followed my dreams to do that, and it was like the best decision. And I still think how crazy it is, the timing of like, I'm very fortunate. Like a lot of it is like hard work and making sure that you're like in the room where it happens and doing everything on that end, but also just like the timing of everything, that I would be a reporter in Texas, drive across the country, be at BroadwayCon, be at Lin-Manuel's birthday Puerto Rico performance. You know what I mean? Like all of these things, and then have it happen in 2019 into 2020. And then the pandemic starts. Like if I had started this a year later, all these connections, they wouldn't have been there. Like, I don't know how many people, even of y'all, the show squad, the SHOtreons that I would have met. It's just, I try not to think about it too much because it's so crazy, but I'm very grateful that life has placed these pieces in front of me and allowed me to have this opportunity to have this series. And it's just crazy. Like, we've done over 100 episodes. I should see how many it's up to now, because Lauren Boyd was the 100th episode, and that's like in a year. That's crazy.
My mom used to always say everything happens for a reason. And I really, truly believe that your reason is to do what you're doing now. Like, everything aligned for you so that you could move to New York, so that you did get, I mean, you like jumped right in, like just feet first. Like, you were just like, boop, just jump. Like, you didn't even look, you just did. And it was, watching you over the last 2 years has been amazing. It's been really amazing to watch just how you followed your dreams.
Thank you, my friend.
Oh, I totally admired it from watching it from a distance. Completely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Slimbo. He wants to join the fun. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And no
Yeah,
interview
no,
is
you
complete
do.
without a Slimbo cameo. Or
No.
It's true. It's true. And
That's
now
not
he's
even
like,
a cameo. That's a full-on hello.
He's
bless you. Thank you for all the love. Thanks for all the kisses.
He's
I think he's just really getting in the mood for Kevin to be on the show tomorrow. I think that's what this is. He's like, Kevin is beloved. Alex Brightman's pup is Kevin, and
I was like, I don't know who Kevin is.
yeah, I was wondering, and then I remembered.
famous.
I love Kevin.
Oh, and
I
there
live
he
for the
goes.
Kevin
That's
content.
Kevin content. Slimbo just stole a shoe, stared at me, and then walked out the door. So that's good.
Well,
Okay.
you know. I just have to remember to bring my iPad to my mom's tomorrow to make sure I'm watching tomorrow at 4:00. This
Thank
has
you.
to be put into my backpack to make sure this happens. I have a meeting until 3:30, but I will.
And for anyone who's wondering, time difference. Julie is an hour
I'm in
different.
the Central Time Zone.
Yeah. Just so there wasn't confusion, because they're like, wait, 4:00? I thought it was 5. It's at 5.
Yeah.
Just
Clarify, I'm in
Julie.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Not to confuse anyone.
Yeah.
Because
5
sometimes
p.m.
the time differences
Eastern.
when we're scheduling
thank
things,
you.
especially for trivia, is like
Yeah.
we all go through iterations of, wait a second, that trivia is at this time. Are you looking at Eastern time zones or are you looking at Western time zones? So that's
You know what I have to
cool,
say
cool.
though? It has been really amazing with the number of us who play trivia regularly in the array of time zones that we are in, and yet we still manage to make it happen and we figure out the time differences. That has been so amazing. I mean, I lived in California for 10 years of my life, but I'm from Massachusetts and there's a 3-hour time difference. And my family, who knew because I would tell them every time, couldn't grasp that concept. And yet we have our trivia every week with like 8 of us, and we've managed to figure it out. It's pretty spectacular.
It is.
Spectacular.
Spectacular. Actually, as you're saying that, it's making me think of, so John and I watched In Pieces last night, which I think you have like one more day, maybe 2. Go check it out. But it was filmed in the UK, set though like a New York set, but all UK actors. And it's really cool because on their website, it says like blah, 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 what is it? GMT. So it'll say like, this is the time. And then it'll also say like, this is Eastern time and whatever time zone you're at. Like, it is so on point with making sure that no matter what time zone you're at, that it like is accustomed to you. So go check that out. That's Joey Contreras. He was on the series last week with his husband, Brian Russell Carey. I just love them so much. Honestly, hello. Oh, Andy, one of our SHOtreons, Show Squad members.
Andy!
Your face.
Love you.
Love. I don't know if anyone has seen it yet, but like, it was so.
I just pulled it up on my phone. I'm gonna watch it as soon as we're off of this.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna make a post about it in a little bit after.
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, you're doing so many posts and you have to like keep in your brain, like, okay, this is what I do and blah, blah, blah. But it's the way Joey described the show was that it's like, it's a musical that's not on like a sound stage. It's not like you're watching like the Hamilton, but it's also not quite like the In the Heights, but it's more like that. It's basically, you know, it's coronavirus time, so everyone had to be safe, and they made sure everyone, you know, was tested and everything. But it looks like almost like a uni, like a college campus in interior place, like a student lounge, but like that whole area. It is so cool, the different sets, and like they have a gym, and it's like all to themselves. They filmed it, and it's a diverse cast, and it's beautiful, and it just like, it's so nice to see theater that was like made during this time, and it's so beautiful. And it's not like Zoom theater, which also is amazing. And I think it's really cool. People are doing like crazy cool things with that. But this is like a production that was filmed. He said they had like 2 days to rehearse and 3 days to film. Bonkers.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
it is
amazing.
crazy, right? And there's a cast member from Six who's in it. There's Romeo from & Juliet. I mean, this cast is stacked. I knew I'd get Lisa with the Six.
Oh, I miss Six.
It's right up there with Hamilton for me.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh. I have my tickets waiting for me in January of 2020.
I went all the way to London to see it.
Damn.
You did see it in London? I should have done it when I was in London, but I didn't. I only saw Hamilton.
So I actually took a trip to London just to see it. My trip in 2019 was to Paris to see one of my best friends, and I had told her before I went, I was like, hey, we should look. I saw this show in Cambridge at ART, and I was like, it was phenomenal. I was like, it's touring. I think it's going to go to Broadway, but if we can see it in Paris, we should definitely see it. It wasn't available in Paris, but it was in London. So she was like, do you want to go to London for a night and see it? And I was like, do I want to go to London
Do I want
to see Six? To see Six? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we did.
Oh, yeah.
And we did. And honestly, like, it devastates me that their opening night was the day of the Broadway shutdown, and they didn't get to have their open because
it's terrible.
It's just, I tell everybody about Six.
Oh,
I'm like, listen to the cast album. Like, it's so good.
It's so good. When I saw it.
Whoa, where's
What?
All right, continue.
One of the first weekends it was in Chicago, because Jen and Sarah from
yes, Broadway Broads.
That's what I thought. I saw it when they were here.
Oh, I love it.
I remember being really bummed that we didn't get to see Six in Chicago when we were there. Show. Do you remember we talked about it? And I was like, oh, I wish we could see that. And
I know
time didn't allow for it.
I saw it February 29th, 2020. So like when you were seeing Hamilton,
You saw Six when I saw Hamilton?
I saw Six. Yes. I saw Six
in New
that
York
weekend. We saw in New York.
Why didn't we meet?
I don't know. It was a whole weekend. Like it was a weekend right after classes had just started back up. So like we did a whole weekend in the city with the boys and the kids.
Yeah, you crossed in somewhere in Midtown.
No.
With Cindy.
No. That was a different weekend.
No.
No, that was a different weekend. That was Eugene's birthday weekend that we ran into you.
Yes.
That was the next weekend, literally the next weekend. Because we took the boys and we went to the Bronx Zoo and the Central Park, not the Central Park Zoo that weekend. We went to the Bronx Zoo, and then I was trying to get them to go do a Saturday night show of Wicked, and we went to a Brazilian steakhouse instead, which was totally fun because it was really, really good. Yes. And then Sunday we saw Six, and then the next weekend, which was Eugene's birthday weekend, which was the last weekend before shutdown, he and I did a two-doche and saw Little Shop and Dear Evan Hansen with our lovely Jordan Fisher. So
Yes.
that was
Happy birthday
that was
weekend
so
to
much.
Jordan Fisher.
Yes.
Oh.
Another April birthday, although if we could get him, we should nudge him. You should reach out.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Oh my
manifest
gosh,
that.
please reach out to
That would be so
please reach
great.
out to him.
John and I saw Jordan Fisher's opening night at Dear Evan Hansen, and it was mind-blowing. Like, he's just so talented. It's not.
I want to see that show.
Oh, it's so good. I went in blind. I knew nothing about Dear Evan Hansen.
Wow.
I hadn't listened to the music,
can't
and I
do
think I'm wearing my Does Anybody Have a Map shirt today? So like I think hold on. Like I think
quick change.
Quick change.
quick change.
Thank
But
you.
I think like the opening number, I was crying. I was already
Yes.
crying because I felt like just with where I am in life, with being a parent, being a
Yeah.
full-time worker, also going to law school part-time, like all and trying to still somehow manage to be all of the things, which there's just not time for everything. It hit like it really hit my soul real hard, and like I think I cried. And I remember we saw like the Does Anybody Have a Map shirts when we came in before we sat down, and we were like, oh, those are interesting. And as soon as the number ended, Eugene looked at me and he's like, you're gonna go buy one of those shirts now. Like as soon as we hit intermission. And you better believe as soon as we hit intermission, I bought one of those shirts.
Oh yeah.
I have never seen Dear Evan Hansen, but it was before I had even seen Hamilton, because I only saw Hamilton for the first time in 2019. And I remember I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to the cast recording. I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to listen to it. Nobody told me what it was about. So I had no idea.
Oh, no.
And I'm not a parent, so it didn't hit me in that way. But I was in high school. I came out in high school and I started the Gay Straight Alliance at my high school. And it was a really huge thing. And there were, no, you all know the story of Dear Evan Hansen. And so like, that was a reality that I had been through. And listening to that, I was at work and I just was sobbing. And I remember I posted on Facebook, I said something like, you're all fired. None of you are my friend. I can't believe you let me go in blind. Like, I cannot believe you guys didn't give me a heads up about this. And
I
I'm
felt
like,
the same way.
I'm so excited to see it now because, of course, I listen to it a lot and I love it. But I think that's going to be the next one that I see in London.
Yeah. What's so interesting about seeing a show either on tour, like on Broadway, off Broadway, regional, tour, London, Australia, like it's so cool to see different casts and to see different interpretations of the same music. Or even if you see a show multiple times, sometimes you see it with a different cast. And what I always like to tell people is don't go in thinking it'll sound like the cast album, because it's not. Right. Even if you see the original cast, it's not going to sound like the cast album, and you're going to be disappointed. Rather, what you should do is, stop listening to the cast album for like at least a few days. I'd say at least a week. If you can go longer, like, a lot of people with Hamilton, they were like, stop listening like a month before you see it for the first time. I was like, what? No way. I mean, this was like back in the day, and I listened to Hamilton and Dear Evan Hansen all the time in West Texas, and like not a lot of people knew about it. I had a friend, Randy, who like the two of us would just like rap to each other. But when I finally saw Hamilton on Broadway, Julia and I were like, whoa, like seeing it in person and it just like attacking your face and being like, oh my God, I love all of this. It's the same feeling with like any show, which is, oh, I thought I knew this, but seeing it in person just like gives it that extra depth. So I don't know. I think some people like to listen to the cast album before. For me, it totally depends on the show. Like if it's a show that I know I'm not going to see for years, or at least for like a long time, I'm going to listen to it. But like Beetlejuice, I was supposed to see it first preview. And then I had to, this is not a sob story because it all worked out brilliantly, but I had first first preview tickets, and I was very excited. And then I got tickets to see The Lightning Thief. And it was like this timing that like I could only see The Lightning Thief that day, and Beetlejuice was just starting. So I was like, okay, great. So I saw that. And then the next day I saw Hades Town in previews before it all blew up. So like everything happens for a reason. Like Lisa said, everything is like, so then I was like, oh, I really want to see Beetlejuice. But at that time, as Lisa also knows, I hadn't seen Beetlejuice, the movie. And, you know, I'm 29. It's not like, you know, I kind of missed that age where like everyone saw it, but I always meant to see it. I've historically not seen a lot of movies. Like I've seen a lot of musicals, but I've just not seen a lot of movies. So I was like, should I watch the movie first or should I see the musical? And a lot of people were like, at this point, you've waited so long, see the musical first and then see the movie. Honestly, such a good call. Like, because now I think of it like when I watched the movie, Lisa and I were like messaging back and forth when I finally watched it for the first time. But I was like, oh yeah, that's like the reference in the musical. It's like, no, that's a reference to the movie.
Yeah.
Well, mine was like, Beetlejuice for me was kind of like that because like I had taken for Chase's 10th birthday, I took him to see Hamilton and then like do a whole day in the city. So we went to like this underwater exhibit, National Geographic underwater exhibit, and then saw Hamilton as a matinee. And then we were like, all right. I was like, what do you want to do? Like, we can go check the board at Hello Thomas. We can go check the board at TKTS. Hello, Kit Kat. Hi, Fran. And can you shift? Thank you. I was like, we can go check the board. If you want to go see something, we can. If anything sounds interesting, if not, we'll go home. Because he was tired and Hamilton's a long show. And he was like, okay. So Beetlejuice happened to be on the TKTS board and was still there when we got up to the window. And he was like, that sounds interesting. I want to see that. And I was like, all right. Knew nothing about it. I had seen the movie, but I knew nothing about the show, hadn't heard any of the music. And like 3 minutes in, like he and I, like he was almost asleep before the music started. And then as soon as the music started, like we were both sucked in. And I think we cried, like laugh cried through the entire show and ended up, I saw it 4 times before it closed. So I won. We went to it then, and then I started entering the lottery for it. And that was before the Tonys, before like anybody really knew anything about it. So I entered the lottery and I won the lottery 2 more times, twice, and took a friend of mine. And then I took Liam. And then when they did fall 2019, when they did 2-for-1 tickets, we got them. And that's when Eugene saw it. So both the boys saw it twice. And like, that's now like, you talk about working like theater people and working references to shows and stuff. Like we work like Beetlejuice references and Six references and Hamilton references. And like, they've listened to Dear Evan Hansen and Chase saw Hades Town and is in love with it. And like, all of that works its way into our daily lexicon. So it's pretty fantastic.
I love that.
I had tickets to see Beetlejuice last year for my birthday. But my birthday is at the beginning of April and Broadway shut down 3 weeks before. So I was, and I held on to the ticket because they were like, oh, well, you know, when theater opens up again in a month, because how naive we were, I was going to be able to see it, but we all know how that went. And I actually just recently, like I couldn't bring myself to throw away the ticket, even though the tickets were refunded. I couldn't throw it away. I was like, I was going to see Alex Brightman. I was going to see him. And then I finally recently just threw it away a couple weeks ago and I was devastated. I was like, no, I had a ticket. I had it.
No, I hope you get to see it. You know, it was so weird.
I
like,
really do too.
Listening to the podcast episode from last year, because like, if I knew then what I know now, like we were talking, right? Like we were talking about oh, well, you know, because of course the whole Beetlejuice story that it was going to close regardless in June and then hopefully get revived and all that jazz. But it was just like so weird to hear us talking about, like, I really hope Broadway's back by June. You know, like it's this like weird thing to hear us like, it's almost like a time capsule. You know what I mean? Because we were in this spot and thinking this way. And like since then, the interview style has kind of changed. You know, like we go to the origin story and we talk about the shows. But that interview, like we spoke, of course, about Beetlejuice and like some other things, but it was more just like, what are you feeling like in this moment? Like you were in this hit Broadway show that had like, it's a weird start too, because Beetlejuice, the movie, is such a like pop culture icon, legend. Like it's such a phenomenon that it's weird that it took so long for the musical to really kick off. But it did. It took the Thanksgiving Day Parade performance, the Tony's performance, and then Presley Ryan on TikTok really like that kicked it up a notch. And it's cool that they give Presley credit for that, because I think sometimes when an actor does something to help promote the show, it doesn't always get recognized by the show proper. They're like, cool, you're promoting the show you're in. That's great. But Beetlejuice like really embraced it. Like even at Broadway Con last year, they had like a whole panel and they like spoke about the TikTok culture and like them doing all these things backstage. I just thought that was really cool to like give credit where credit is due. And now, I mean, Beetlejuice, like legitimately, my Beetlejuice videos, I can post anything that like from the Broadway and Bryant Park, Broadway Under the Stars, any interview with Alex Brightman, and like those numbers just start to go whoop. It's great. I love Beetlejuice. I do. It's true.
There's something inherently joyful about that show. Like it's a show about death. It absolutely is a show about death. And yet it's just like, I come out of there every single time I saw it. I came out of there feeling happy and joyful. And like, I remember there was something that happened. I think it was a friend of mine that I had known for a few years. Trigger warning for anybody, committed suicide. And I remember sitting there for a couple weeks trying to kind of like, we were close, but not like close, like best friend kind of close, but pretty close, like work colleagues and friends and stuff. And I remember sitting there talking to another friend of mine, and I was like, you know, I think I want to go see Beetlejuice as like almost a way to have closure and kind of reset from something like that, because it is a show like, welcome to a show about death, because that's exactly what it is. But like, it makes it okay. Like they talk about like death is taboo, but it's hardly something new. Like it makes it okay to talk about, and makes it okay to feel legitimate in your feelings when someone's no longer there, and how you kind of go through those different stages of grief. And so like, I didn't get a chance to go see it again after that, but it's amazing how that show evolved from like the DC run to Broadway. But like, I don't know. I think Alex Brightman really brought that role to life. And I think like
From
the
Death to
joy, yes. Like, I don't know, just a lot of joy, a lot of puns, as we've talked about. We're a very punny group. Kind of brought everything together.
Yeah. And talking about Alex Brightman's stage door is brilliant to go to after this show. You know, it's interesting because we've talked a lot about stage door experiences and, you know, Lisa with the prom being your first one, but stage door has been such a like important part of my theater growing up experience, and really hope that it continues when it comes back. You know, maybe not right away, but we build up to that. But just seeing the Beetlejuice fans, and everyone was like pretty respectful, which like for such a crazy fandom, and I say that in the most loving way, like there would be like 3, 4, 5 rows of people. And we built like this system naturally of like, oh, okay, just hand me that and give that. And okay, Leslie Kritzer is coming over. Okay, why don't you go there? Like, it was so nice. And like, someone like if you were at the front and someone knew like, okay, I just need a picture with Carrie Butler, they would like, everyone would make room. They'd come over and they'd take the picture and they'd go back. Like that to me is like the best of theater fandom, which is everyone just is so excited to be there. Everyone just loves the show. And sometimes you have like we were talking about Mandy earlier, sometimes you have this one actor that you're just like, oh my God, if I could just get a picture with this one person, my life will be made. And it's true, right? So you help each other out. And that's like a good memory of Beetlejuice for me, especially going on Halloween. Oh my goodness. Talk about like a perfectly timed show for a show to see a show. Beetlejuice Halloween. If that exists in the future, if you're seeing a show, if I know Beetlejuice is going to Brazil and South Korea, and there's been talks about London and tours and whatnot. But if you can see Beetlejuice on Halloween, get dressed up, great times. So on that note, we've been talking for 1 hour and 5 minutes, which is phenomenal because this was just really like a test and a catch up. And obviously with this group of humans, it's anything is not just like 5 or 10 minutes. Love you so much.
I was really glad to come on though, because I missed our group chat.
Yes. Yeah. So that's also a great point.
This was a really great opportunity for me to like get on and like have our little group chat.
Thank you, my love. So another perk of being a SHOtreon is we do monthly video chats. So there's weekly trivia, which is like a whole other thing, but then also monthly video chats that are not videoed like this. They're just like on StreamYard and we chat back, as much as possible. And it's like, they usually go like 2 or 3 hours at this point. They're just like so long. And it's just nice to be able to like catch up with people. And, I think I feel I've said this like 5 times already, but I'm so grateful to have this community that if like I can just help build it and connect with people, it's like the best. It's the best of everything. And having the support and supporting one another and hearts and hearts and hearts. And, like we do with every episode of the Show Must Go Online. I called this a Show Must Go Online Junior, but this is a full-on production, baby. We are living it up. We are in our sweatshirts. We are having those Sunday vibes that I love. So why doesn't everyone go around, share one nonprofit or charity that you just want to shout out and where everyone can find you on social media?
I'll start. Since I used my birthday as a birthday fundraiser it's the New Jersey Freedom Farm Sanctuary. They are a family-run farm and they rescue animals all the time. I don't know if you guys remember hearing about that cow that got loose, like literally got loose in New York City from a slaughterhouse. And what's his name? Frank? I think Frank. Is that his name? I don't remember what they named him. Anyway, they rescued him and he now lives beautiful, glorious days grazing on grass out in a meadow. And they are, they're struggling, especially during the pandemic. I mean, it's not like a zoo where like people come and visit and give money. They are a husband and wife duo that run this entire farm. So I don't remember what their website is. I think Freedom Farm Sanctuary in New Jersey.
I'm going to look it up.
I think my sound just cut out for the first time this whole call. That was amazing.
It was well done.
So,
Lisa.
I know.
You can find it. I'm going to post it here. This is their Facebook handle, Freedom Farm Animal Rescue.
Yes.
If anyone is watching this now or in the future and you're missing this moment, just message me because Lisa and I talk about them all the time. We're friends with people. I've luckily been able to go there and it's like so powerful. And I can't wait to volunteer there again. Kimmy is just like fabulous. Kimmy's a dresser at Hamilton and that's how we know about it and the connection. But thank you, Lisa. Yeah, this is perfect.
Thank you for that.
And where can they find you?
You can find me at Hamel Peep on all the things. Hamel
Sweet.
Peep like Hamilton.
Cool.
Yes.
Thank you. Julie, let's go to you.
Can you slip to Ashley, because I can't think of anything on your suggestion on the not-for-profit thing, so I'm out.
Yeah, Ashley, go for it.
So we're a big animal family in this house, and my youngest child has managed to consume our entire lives because he is a literal force of nature. And so we have kind of adopted red pandas. Red pandas are his favorite animal. That we stumbled into them at the Pittsburgh Zoo. He was about 2 years old. And they were the first animal we saw, spent the whole day at the zoo, and that is the stuffy that he picked out. And ever since, red pandas have kind of become our family's adopted animal. Between red pandas and cheetahs has kind of become our thing. And so every time Red Panda Network comes up, and I think their handle is at Red Panda Network, but I will double check that, comes up, we always donate. We actually have anytime we order anything on Amazon, we do Amazon Smile, and that is where our donation goes, is to Red Panda Network. There is a cosmetics company called Endangered Cosmetics, and they make, I actually have a palette right here because I ordered 2 of them because Liam, again, owns my life. She actually does, works with endangered animals and will partner with their nonprofits for the palettes that she makes, and then donates part of the proceeds to this. So this is the Red Panda palette that she made. I'm sure
Ashley, why don't we know about this? Why is this
Ashley,
the
how
first time
very
that Lisa and I
dare
are
you.
seeing this?
Yes, what?
How
Sorry.
very dare you?
This
Do
is
you not
absurd.
know about my makeup obsession and my former
I-
status as a makeup artist? I know I look like this, but we're in a
We're in
pandemic.
a pandemic. That's
beautiful.
not
No,
it.
it's totally
We're
fine.
not
I know I
really
didn't know
hearing
that.
about this stuff.
So Endangered Cosmetics. She is based in the
Obsessed.
UK. You can find her on Insta. She's amazing.
Looking this up.
And she made this, like, Liam has his own, and like literally the day that we got it, he was like playing with the palette. It was adorable.
Whoa.
But yeah. And so part
It's done.
of the
It's happening.
it's done. So part of the proceeds that she gets from selling the palettes is being donated to Red Panda Network. So
Oh,
these
excellent.
adorable little animals that are
Endangered
their
makeup
own, Endangered Cosmetics.
cosmetics.
Endangered Cosmetics. The Red Panda Network is one of
Lisa
our
is pieced out right
go-to
now.
charities. You're welcome. Just like adding the scientist
my
company to all of our lives. I've now
Yes.
added this.
Yes,
Thank
well,
you.
the scientist company has definitely been a plus
Yes.
to all of us.
That's so true. So, okay, I just need to make a quick note here and say, like, this is why I do this. This is why I always ask about a nonprofit or charity, because sometimes people say one that we all know and love, and that's awesome. And sometimes you find out a new thing, and people, it's like on the negative, there are so many things that need fixing in the world, and that's very heartbreaking. But then the positive is like these people who make a change and like actually dedicate their lives to helping this one thing. And sometimes you find something that a kid is passionate about and you find a way that you can help them. And now your friends also want to support them. So it's really cool. Awesome. So we will.
I imagine I'll be
checking that out.
purchasing a palette or 2 before tonight.
They're gorgeous.
Over.
They're absolutely gorgeous. Like, I love them. I love it so much, and I haven't gotten to play with it, but like Liam actually wiped out the rest of my makeup wipes because he was playing with it so much.
I mean, we love that.
But we do.
Love
we
that
do.
journey.
That child though.
Oh, we have a pizza delivery?
Not pizza, it's an Italian sub, and because my husband's very good at feeding me because I'm not so good at feeding myself.
That sounds good.
That sounds delicious.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Ashley, where can everyone find you on the socials?
I am on Twitter at Ashley_Czak and on Instagram at ANS7513.
Perfect. Thank you. Julie, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, my non-for-profits are kind of more of my like local world because I sit on a board for my community band kind of thing. So, that's when Ashley said something about what she puts on her Amazon Smile, I'm like, well, that's kind of my community band. So, I don't know, but I like your point about the actor, Actors Fund is probably more appropriate for this world. So I was kind of in I don't know exactly what to say things. So, band is my other world. So totally. Yeah. And it's really hard for local music groups right now. So, because we're learning how to adjust. It's challenging right now to figure out how to adjust in COVID. So I actually just bought yesterday covers for my instrument and how to play with covers on my special music masks and all of these things. So yeah, all of these non-for-profits for community groups are struggling. So it's an interesting point. So that's where my not-for-profit world is important, but just to speak up for all of that. But for me, what is my Instagram? I don't even know. I'm not on it that often. It's it's MSU Pooker, and then that's me.
Awesome. That's actually such a good point because we talk about Broadway and like these big, the Actors Fund is such a great organization, but also supporting your local theaters and musicians and your local food banks, like all these things that it's whatever you can do to help is so important and necessary now. And I appreciate you bringing that up because that's really important. Yeah. Whew. Well, y'all can find me at BWay Show. That's BWAYSHO. I normally say, as you can see from this wonderful banner, but we've taken up the banner.
Our faces are all over the banner,
which is great. I love, as it should be. You can also find me at BWay Show Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. We decided it was good to have a dedicated podcast episode 1 over there. But really, BWay Show is your home for all things BWay Show, BWayShow.com, Shonanigans, the show must go online. There's so many things. You can also join this wonderful group of humans on the SHOtreons. So it's bwayshow.com/SHOtreon or patreon.com/bwayshow. There's so many options for how you can get there. Everything's on my website, bwayshow.com. And also, if you have any questions or recommendations or you have theater questions, I have people message me all the time about like theater recommendations or musicals that they should introduce to their friends or kids. Like, message me. This makes me so happy. I love to share my musical knowledge. And we, everyone just be safe, wear a mask. When it's your turn to get vaccinated, please do. It's a scary time. There's a lot happening right now, but we can all do our part to be as safe as possible and healthy as possible. And look out for one another, look out for yourselves, do something like treat yourself. I know we talk about it, but it's true. If there's something that
this
you can
group
do
is a group of enablers for treating yourself.
Sure are.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah. We sure are, and I love it. And I can't wait to get my Dan Levy glasses that I purchased
that I wasn't going to buy, and then I clicked on the link because, again,
and they were just so cute, and we are. And I mean, I literally, I'm just going to throw this out there. Beekman 1802, if you want to sponsor me, hello, I'm right here. The Scientist Co., if you'd like to sponsor me. I love these products, and I will happily. So Rose Apothecary, this is great. I will happily, if you have something that you want to promote on the Show Must Go Online or on BWay Show Instagram, or you just want anything out there, let's talk because, it's fun. We could do some personal advertising. Those are some good times. Yeah. Took a little reference, flipped it on its head. Thought you'd appreciate it. Any other final
the world
thoughts
turned upside down.
Hey yo.
And on that note,
upside down. On that note, Alex Bryman tomorrow. Stay tuned for all the fun. Come join us. See you at the show. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
bye.